Hello everyone, welcome back to another Ordinary Lolita weekly vlog. This is a collection of days from the end of April to the end of May, and it has some baking, a lot of art, so I hope you'll enjoy this video. First up is a meetup that I hosted at the Muttart Conservatory, and there was a big exhibit on Mars. So I went for an astro themed coordinate. I'm wearing Angelic Pretty's Astro Regiment, and I paired it with this super cute sailor blouse. This blouse also has little star lace on the collar, which is a really cute detail that I love. And this all navy coordinate is really lovely and wonderful. I really enjoyed wearing this one. Now, despite the fact that I'm wearing short sleeves, it is still cold outside, hence the cape that I'm wearing. Don't believe how warm the sun looks. It was very, very cold when we went. For those who are interested in going to the conservatory, it is $14.95 for admission into the conservatory, and it has 3 permanent pyramids with various temperates and then a feature pyramid. I have showcased this conservatory before. It's a great hidden attraction in Edmonton. So the first permanent feature pyramid is the arid pyramid, and this is more for desert plants or plants that don't really need a lot of water but require a lot of sun. It's really fun to look at all the cactuses here and really enjoy all the different diversity of plants. Next up is the temperate one. This is a very luscious green pyramid, and I personally really love the variety that they have in this pyramid. They had a really cute game where you had to try to find all 5 gnomes in this pyramid, and that was a little bit of added fun. I really love the koi pond in the middle. I can stare at the fish all day. Though I gotta say my favorite in this pyramid is definitely the maple tree. It's so beautiful. Alright, so before hitting up the last permanent exhibit pyramid, we're gonna head off to the future one, and that is of course on Mars. The big feature of this pyramid is obviously the giant Mars balloon that's rotating in the middle. They even had little couches that you can sit on. That was really enjoyable. And this pyramid changes out quite frequently, so it's always nice to see what sort of features that they have. Before going into the last pyramid, we got a little distracted by little shrimps and frog friends in one of the displays. But after that, we headed to the hottest pyramid, and that is the tropical one. Once you step in, oh my gosh, the humidity here is absolutely wild. But all the plants here really thrive in that temperature. This pyramid features my favorite plant, which is dumb cane, and every time me and my friends come to this pyramid, we always point it out. As usual, conservatory visits are very fun, and it's always so enjoyable with friends. So after touching grass, we headed off to a late lunch at one of Becky's favorite places called Shitty's. It is very cute, very retro, and apparently their burgers were to die for. Not gonna lie, I personally think that they were okay, but the standout was the sauce. So definitely get a side of the sauce if you're ever coming to this place. And that's it for the first day. So for the second coordinate of this video, it is a blue skies coordinate because I am wearing misty sky paired with my favorite color, Sax Blue. For this day, I was actually heading off to IKEA in search of curtains so that the sunlight isn't shining really bright in my face. This is a really basic coordinate, and I really like how my hair turned out with a little half updo and braid in the back. Once again, heading out with Becky, who is my bestie and is available most times, so this is why you see a lot of her during this vlog. So obviously a trip to IKEA means heading off for breakfast and then exploring the labyrinth that is IKEA. Nourishment was necessary. We just got basic breakfasts and then we headed off to explore IKEA and marvel at the interior decorations. In the end though, I actually didn't find the blackout curtains that I was looking for, but I did get a lot of interior inspiration and am very excited to maybe one day decorate my own sort of place in my style. So yeah, that was a really fun day. For coordinate number 3, this is the beginning of May, which is Asian Heritage Month here in Canada. So I decided to bake a black sesame banana loaf, and because black sesame is more of an Asian sort of dessert flavor profile, so I wore a Meta Lolita JSK with some black to represent the black sesame. And I gotta say that this Meta JSK is actually really hard for me to coordinate around, just because of how bright it is, and I don't really have a lot of colors that really showcase this JSK very well, but I think it's still a pretty solid coordinate.
Hello, welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to be making a brown butter black sesame banana loaf. That's a lot of words. Let's get started.
So as you watch me make this banana loaf, please don't look at my nails. I didn't have enough time to peel off the nail polish. I'm sorry if it's unsightly. In the end though, this loaf turned out really good. I very much enjoy black sesame as a flavor profile. It adds a good amount of nuttiness and a little bit more textural interest in the banana loaf itself. So I will definitely be giving this a try again sometime in the future.
I hope you'll give this recipe a try. It's very nutty and very good. Thanks for joining me. Bye.
Alright, for coordinate number 4, the theme is Antique Rose, and I'm heading off antiquing. So the coordinate for the day is a JSK from Innocent World. This is Loretta Rose, and this is one of my longer JSKs, and I paired it with an ivory blouse. And as you can see here, it's long sleeves, so as you can deduce, it is still quite cold outside despite it being the middle of May. I personally really like my hair for this coordinate, and my favorite little detail is my cat ring from Moss Badger.
Good morning! So today I'm going to be heading off antiquing, and what I'm really after is a bowl with this design. I had this bowl before, however I dropped it and it is now broken. So I'm looking to replace it. Hopefully we'll be able to find it at the antique store. Since the antique shops are not that close to coffee shops, I am actually going to be making my own matcha to bring for this little shopping excursion just because I didn't really want to stop anywhere. So let's make the matcha and then head out. I'm going to use the Bon Maman jars. I love repurposing it. And then this is the current matcha that I'm drinking. I believe you can just get this one at Lucky or Costco even. To make it a little bit more spring, I'm going to be putting in some violet syrup from Monin. Perfect. Okay, let's take this to go.
So before we headed into the antique shop, which is Rocky Mountain Antiques, we had a little snack, and then we headed in to see a treasure trove of items. I personally really like looking through Rocky Mountain Antiques just because they have a lot more variety that you wouldn't necessarily see at the Old Strathcona Antique Mall. It's a really good variety between industrial and like regular home use, so it's always nice to have a different variety of antique stores in the city itself. Becky and I usually have a really fun time at antique stores, and we saw some really cool, amazing things. Once again, I'm not going to bother you with my commentary on this, but as you can see from the footage, there is a lot of interesting old things to look at.
This. It said it was open.
On Google or their website?
Google.
I always double check, Doug.
Oh.
Rip.
For coordinate number 5, this is a camellia sort of coordinate. Once again, going for an all navy coordinate. This JSK is from Meta, and I usually only pull out this coordinate whenever I want to do Lolita style coordinates. Please ignore the fact that I apparently got dressed in the dark for this coordinate, with the JSK straps hanging out, as well as me not tying up my blouse straps. So you can see it at the bottom of the dress, and I didn't notice until the end of the day. There was something really wrong with me this day, but the coordinate turned out cute. I think this is a really great Lolita coordinate, and is perfect for what I'm going to do, which is to go see a movie at the art gallery. Once again, because it is Asian Heritage Month, I am seeing an Asian movie. So before I headed off to the art gallery, I went to a downtown coffee shop that I've been meaning to go to for a very long time, and this is Fox Coffee. The interior is done in a very old building, and it is gorgeous and lovely. They have gluten-free donuts, which was very good, and I had a matcha, which was also very good. And I think I'm going to be back because the vibes there were just immaculate. After a quick snack and reading break, I headed off to the art gallery. And I'm going to showcase a few of the exhibits that I didn't see last time. The first one is Seen and Being Seen, and this recent acquisition really takes a look at representations of women, and more specifically representations of women by women artists. Because as you know, no gaze is neutral. And there are many interactions at play between the artist, the sitter, and the viewer. All of these factors really create a unique dynamic between the artist and the subject. And this was a really good collection of key moments in women's lives, from girlhood to motherhood, and of women both seeing and being seen. So this was a really interesting collection to look at. The other new exhibit on this floor was William Kentridge's and Pablo Picasso's Life in Print. And this exhibit brings together the prolific and innovative artists of the 20th and 21st century. It highlights the remarkable parallels between the two artists with their multidisciplinary approach to art making, as well as their personas that precede the work. It really showcases their ability to pivot the medium of lino cut. And I thought that this was a really fun exhibit to look through, especially looking at the differences and the style that's used by both Picasso and Kentridge. And then the last exhibit on the main floor that was new is called Tied Together. So this was actually created by an artist called Ali Service and her daughters, and it weaves together the idea of community, collaboration, and family bonding while exploring the value of spreading and sharing creativity. And within the space, you can actually interact with the artworks itself. It is meant for a more collaborative project, and I thought it was really amazing to take a look at. And then up on the second and third floors are previous exhibits that I featured before, so please feel free to check out the previous Lolita vlog where I showcase these exhibits. After that, it was time to head downstairs into the theater to watch Everything Will Be, a documentary on Vancouver's changing Chinatown. This movie screening was free and for seniors, and I'm a senior, so that was really fun. I got to talk to some seniors about the movie, and it was a lovely time. Moving on to coordinate number 5, and that is a creative cat coordinate. Once again, another Metamorphose Lolita themed JSK. This one is the Dozing Cat series, and I paired it with pastel yellow for a really bright, fun coordinate. I really tied this coordinate around the bolo necktie that I have from a local artist called Megan McWhirter, and it's a really cute, lovely coordinate. So as you can see here, I'm attending Oddbird Arts and Crafts Fair once again, and I am very, very excited to support all of these local amazing artists. It's very hard to not just walk away with a lot of art, and it was really fun to chit chat with a lot of artists and the mediums that they have. They also had a local queer-owned coffee shop join them this time as well, and they had a really good drink menu too. This art market is definitely one of my favorites, and it's something that I've been looking forward to ever since I attended the first one back in December last year. So I'm really excited to see how this market continues to thrive and what sort of artists they'll be featuring in the future. It always feels so good to support local artists and be amazed at the creativity that there is out there in the world. Afterwards, I headed off for a late lunch at Marlowe's Tacos. White Ave is really known for their food scenes. I'm going to showcase my little haul of things that I purchased this time around. Hopefully they'll be ending up on my wall sometime soon. Alright, so for the last coordinate, to really top off the creative artsy vibes, I am now going to be doing my own arts and crafts project. And the coordinate that I chose for this one is a very simple casual coordinate featuring this Emily Temple Cute JSK, which has some lovely fields, a little house, as well as sheep clowns, which are so adorable. The headdress is very fluffy and very cute. This is a very casual coordinate where I'm just going to be sitting down and crafting for around 1 to 2 hours. Hello everyone! Today's a little cloudy, but I'm going to be starting a new arts and craft project today. For those who watch my maritime vlog, you will know that I picked up a rug hooking kit from Deanne Fitzpatrick Studio in Amherst, Nova Scotia. And this is the pattern that I picked up. So this is what I'm going to be starting today. I've never hooked before, so this is going to be pretty interesting to see. Hopefully this will be a good project by the end of it. All right, let's get started by pulling the whole kit out of my little travel bag. Everything was squished into this little gudetama bag, so we're just going to take everything out. This is what we're working with, so I think I'm going to get started on the farmhouse first. I just put it on an embroidery hoop. Ideally, it should be on a wooden frame, but we work with what we got at home. I think starting off with the roof might be the easiest, so that way I can practice the hooking technique. Okay, unravel
applying this, the gray color for the roof. I'm just gonna knot the back end here so that way it will stay under. I think we're gonna start off with this corner over here. So I'm just gonna put it under. Basically gonna hook the yarn, bring it through the hole. So the knot is going to be keeping it steady in there, and I believe she said it's supposed to be around 1/8 of an inch. What's important is how far this goes up, so let's try to do another one. Alright, so I've just finished with the first string of yarn here, and I've got about this much of the roof done, and I'm gonna hopefully continue this so that way I can finish it up. But this is what the back looks like. That's pretty neat. Not bad for a beginner. I'm gonna continue working on this project. Hopefully by the time you see this video, I will be finished it so I can show you what the finished product looks like. But there's so much texture to this that I really can't wait to see what the finished product will look like. So that's gonna be it for today. Thank you very much for joining me for this Lolita weekly vlog. Let me know what you've been up to recently and what sort of crafting projects you're currently working on. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!
After a whole week, I finished off this project and it looks amazing. So that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you very much for joining me. Let me know what you've been up to recently, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!